All right, dudes, we did it. We hit level 90 just now. I've done nothing. We hit level 90. I clicked my last talent point in. I haven't really messed with my gear at all, so let's take a look at what we've been cooking with on our leveling journey so far. All right, here's the deal. We were playing Mountain Thane Fury Warrior, which is really fun. I am interested in trying out arms. We probably still will. I know people are really freaking out because arms has gotten nerfed like 38,000 times in a row on beta for some reason. Probably because it's actually busted. We just haven't figured it out yet. Anyway, started leveling as Fury. Probably will play some prot. Definitely will play some arms. I don't know why I keep getting like consumed by the void, but whatever. Here's what we're done with Fury Warrior Mountain Thane. Mountain Thane is fun. It has a bunch of AoE, pretty tanky. It shredded through the leveling process just fine. Took us, what, 15 hours? So it's like, at a very, like, casual, just doing whatever kind of pace. You know, 1.5 hours per level. I mean, you can go faster, but I mean, it's chill. It's fine. I think a lot of this is pretty standard on the warrior side of the tree. I actually wanted to take movement speed for running around a little faster, even though you're on your mount most of the time. War Machine for sure for auto attack. Like rage generation and running faster and getting rage when you kill stuff. Thunderclap is essential for Thane because you're clapping a whole lot to get your whirlwind stacks up. I went for a little bit of leech just for chilling and living out in the world. Impending victory, of course, gots to have that for the on-demand heal, and victory rush is nice. Heroic leap with the bounding stride to make it go a little faster and be a shorter cooldown. Crackling thunder for the big AoE on those thunder blasts, which is awesome. Stormbolt works with your hero talents, so you kind of grab that for just a little bit of CC. Rend is nice because you're thunderclapping, so things are getting rended up, which works well with some of the bleed enhancements you're doing as well. Second wind is sweet whenever you're not in, taking damage. You'll heal up a ton, so you're full health between packs when you're leveling, which is great. And when you're low health, it'll give you some extra health regen too. Pain and Gain is really just to get down into the next talent, which is Rallying Cry. And get through everything else that you need. You probably maybe don't need it. Maybe you could do this and everything would be okay, except I do kind of like field dressing, just a little extra healing. Fury heals itself a lot, so it's nice to have that. Feather Flex, gots to have it. Rallying Cry, gots to have it, kind of just to get down to everything else, but it's also, like, okay. Going with Berserker Shout, but I actually would rather have Fearless for the, for now. I mean, truly, like, having Berserker Shout is awesome for your team in general, but when you're leveling, you probably just go Fearless. And that would be fine too, just so that, like, if you do get feared, it's on a shorter cooldown, whatever. Speaking of fear, I like fear. You could go Piercing Howl because it does give you movement speed as well. But I don't know, not having fear just feels weird to me. It's just kind of like a core part of the warrior toolkit that I'm just used to having. But Piercing Howl not only slows enemies, it also gives you a small movement speed boost, so that's kind of cool too. Could be cool for tracking down mobs or getting away from mobs, right? Honed Reflexes is nice. You got to put a point somewhere. You could go haste, but I kind of like honed reflexes. Pummeling enemies and then making them take more damage I think is really fun. And just reducing the cooldowns on some of your abilities is nice too. Armor to the Teeth, giving you strength equal to 10% of your armor. Insane. Double time for charge, got to have it, right? Reinforced plates, more stam, more armor, makes you tankier. Fury heals off of max health anyway, so more percent health is great. This is also scaling your strength because this talent, no brainer. Take 2 points there. Barbaric Training, Thunderclap, Whirlwind, and Raging Blow deal 10% more damage and 5% increased critical strike chance. As Thane, you are pressing more Bloodthirst than Raging Blow, probably, but Thunderclap is Thunderblast, so that deals more damage, and you do press Raging Blow sometimes, so that's fine. I opted not for Javelineer. It's a cool new talent, makes your throwing abilities have more range and slow stuff, but I'd rather just have Resonant Voice. If you do for something that lasts longer, if you do Piercing Howl something that lasts longer, your Rallying Cry lasts longer. That's fine. Crushing Force, you do press Bloodthirst a lot, making it deal more damage and more crit damage is great. Critical strike chance increase and execute damage increase is not awesome, but you cannot live without anger management, so you have to take it. Spear is cool, it's mobility, it's lockdown, it's AoE, we'll take it. And Stance Mastery, Berserker Stance, auto attack speed is cool. Really not really anywhere else I'd put this point. Maybe you could put 1 point haste, which just seems kind of worse, so I just put it here. Obviously, the defensive stance part of it is very cool. When an attack deals 20% or more of your maximum health and damage, that damage is reduced by 15%. So sick. This is cool too. However, it's just not convenient to get to, so oh well. On the Thane side of the tree, you are clicking all of these, but when you have a choice, I would go for the Stormbolt one for now. Physical damage reduction is cool. A lot of mobs just auto attack you, so there's that. Thunder Blast is part of your rotation, so taking less damage with that is cool. I do like this one as well, though. Just flat stam and Victory Rush healing you for more is cool. But this is cool. You could go either one. Thorum's Might, I think, is quite a bit better than Lightning Strikes, but maybe you could experiment. Lightning Strikes generate Rage, Raging Blow and Execute do more damage and makes those buttons feel a little better to press. And in terms of this one, Thunder Blast calls down a Lightning Strike and the enemy it hits, I think is better than this one. Activating Wreck grants a charge of Thunder Blast, which is fine, but you're gonna usually have Wreck and Avatar together anyway, and then you don't need you don't need it, right? Because you're gonna get Thunder Blast from popping Avatar, so you don't need that one. Those are the ones that I would pick there. Now for the Fury side of the tree, Whirlwind is your Thunderclap, or Thunderclap is your Whirlwind. So I guess it's easier to talk about the things that we don't take. You take a lot of stuff on this tree. I guess like it starts here. Like this is your Whirlwind, right? This is what makes you cleave with it. We're not taking the extra point of enraged regeneration. You can, but we're kind of pathing through this way. Auto attacks can't miss. Bloodthirst always enrages you the first time and has a better chance to trigger enrage, which is nice because you are pressing a lot of Bloodthirst. I went down into Bloodthirst and Raging Blow damage increased instead of things that are execute related. Don't need that. A bleed off of Bloodthirst crits is very cool. Bloodthirst crit strike chances increased by a ton, and Bloodthirst extends your enrage, which is nice. Pressing a lot of Bloodthirst or doing a lot of Bloodthirst buffing talents, including Vicious Contempt, where low health Bloodthirsts do more damage. But this is one that's Bloodthirst related that we're not taking. Bloodthirst crits restore more health. Don't really need that. But I do like that Rampage increases the damage of your next Bloodthirst by 10%. That's nice. I'm not taking Kill Rekilled because I do like it, but it's just not worth it, I don't think. Hack and Slash. Each Rampage strike is a chance to refund charge of Raging Blow. This is definitely some Slayer stuff. Like this right here is Slayer stuff. This right here is Slayer stuff. We are taking a little bit of Raging Blow stuff just so that it has more charges, that it does a little bit more damage, but Bloodthirst is also buffed by Cruelty. And I did take Wrath and Fury, where it deals more damage while enraged and has a chance to instantly reset its own cooldown. It's just kind of convenient to have it. But this is also nice. Whirlwind and Thunderclap deal 50% additional damage when they hit 3 or more targets. You are frequently blasting a bunch of enemies, and making Thunder Blast do 50% more damage is insane. So we like that one. Raging Blow, when you hit it, is increasing the damage of your next Bloodthirst, which is nice. Just sort of, if you ever press Bloodthirst, which you probably will, it'll buff your Bloodthirst, which does more damage. Rampage increases haste by 2%, and it stacks up. Very nice to have. Frenzy. Odin's Fury is, it's fine. It enrages you and generates 20 rage, which is great for your cooldown pop. It is going to be part of our like set bonus, so just get used to using it basically. Reckless Abandon is sick. It transforms your abilities and gives you a bunch of rage to work with, which is sweet. Bloodbath does a bunch of damage and does bleed damage, and it stacks up, which is cool. It's also very nice when it pairs up with Bloodborne. Bloodthirst causes your bleeds to deal 20% additional damage. Just really nice. You have this bleed. You have the Bloodthirst Bloodbath bleed. You have the Rend bleed. I think Odin's Fury is technically a bleed. Like, it's a lot of damage. And then, of course, you have to choose between Avatar or Bladestorm, which sucks, but for Thane, you're going Avatar, of course. Just buffs you up. No longer breaks Roots, which is awkward, but whatever. You're proccing Avatar as part of Thane. You're activating Avatar, and if you'll notice, Anger Management affects the cooldown of Wreck and Avatar. So every time you press Recklessness and Avatar, you can just macro it together, and they'll all just both be up. And there's just, I mean, yes, you could have broken Roots with Avatar in the past. You can't now. There's no reason not to just macro them together. Honestly, they could just make Recklessness, give you Avatar, and then you could take Bladestorm. That would be cool, but that's not what they're doing with Fury. But whatever. In terms of your Apex talents, Rampaging Berserker is kind of cool. So it starts off increasing your Rampage damage by 10%, and Rampage gives you a stack of Berserk, which gives you 3% strength for 8 seconds. Multiple applications of Berserk may overlap, but it's not like it stacks up and refreshes itself. It's that Berserk stack lasts 8 seconds, so you'll frequently have a Berserk stack up, and then one will fall off, and then you get another one. So you have like 2 stacks. But during your cooldowns, things go crazy. So Rampage's cost is reduced by 30%, and the damage is increased by a further 10% during Recklessness. So big Rampage damage, and you're going to be pressing it a lot during Rec. And then the rank 3, the final rank, gives you 3 stacks of Berserk immediately. So right off the bat, 9% increased strength. And Recklessness lasts another 50% duration. So that lines up with Avatar almost entirely. So 18 seconds of Rec and 20 seconds of Avatar. every like 45 seconds. Kind of cool. No, Rampage definitely still deals damage. It just also is a buff now. It's just part of your rotation. But no, Rampage definitely still deals damage. For sure, you want to press that a lot. And then in terms of PvP talents, it's same as always. Slaughterhouse, Enduring Rage, Disarm is fine. I'll drop this code in the chat in the video for you guys if you want to check it out. I guess we could talk about, like 2 seconds, talk about like macros. But first things first, we can talk about gear. The gear is obviously leveling gear. It's trash can gear. I picked up whatever I got. But ideally for stats, you're going to want to go Haste Mastery. I think Haste is probably like top priority right now, just because of how Fury works. Haste always feels really good. Getting your Rampage stacks stacked up so you have like Berserk stacks makes a lot of sense. Haste is great. And then Mastery to scale the damage. Not recommending investment into crit with Fury as usual. If it happens, it is what it is. But Haste Mastery, in that order, I think are your best bets. For PvP, it's probably going to be like Haste verse Mastery, I would say. Or maybe even just verse Haste Mastery, because every piece of gear has verse. But yeah, I replaced most of my gear, I think. But yeah, this is just trash can leveling gear, but ideally you're going to want Haste Mastery for PvE purposes, verse Haste Mastery for PvP purposes. But yeah, I guess PvE is be like Haste Mastery verse crit, in that order. But in terms of macros, I think we've made a lot of Fury videos in the past with macros in it. I think just the big one would be like just the pop and cooldowns one, right? Where you're just gonna macro Wreck, Avatar, Odin's Fury, and that's pretty much the name of the game right there. Maybe pop a use 1 in there, stance 1 if you're in D stance, it'll put you in Zerker stance. It'll cast Ravager at your feet if you're playing Ravager. Which can you even play Ravager as Fury anymore? Is it even an option? I don't even know if it is. Anyway, cast Avatar, cast Odin's Fury, and Wreck. And so it'll pop all your cooldowns and do a nice little kind of deal. And then you just continue your rotation. If you have Odin's Fury up, then you can do a Thunder Blast into Rampages, and then Bloodbath, Rampage. If that Bloodbath gave you... Is there a target dummy around here? If that Bloodbath gave you another Rampage, just keep spamming Rampage. Prioritize Thunder Blast, Rampage when you can, Bloodthirst until you're out of Bloodthirst, and then you can Raging Blow to get another Rampage. That's kind of the flow of the order. If you are enraged, it's good to press Thunder Blast. And then outside of that, if you can, I'd recommend pressing Rampage, and then Bloodthirst still does a lot of damage, but Rampage keeps the damage rolling too. There's definitely a possibility that you can prio Bloodthirst over Rampage as Mountain Thane. That is definitely a possibility, a thing, but I think Rampage is just smooth. And especially for PvP, you do want to get your like Slaughterhouse stacks rolling, and even in PvE, every Rampage that you have is going to ramp your Berserk and your Frenzy. So I'm not so sure I'm ready to prio Bloodthirst over Rampage if a Rampage is available, and like overcapping Rage on that, I'm not so sure. But anyway, I think that's a pretty good flow for popping coolies. Popping coolies with Odin's means you're in Rage, so you can Thunder Blast, Rampage, Thunder Blast again, Bloodthirst. If you can Rampage, do it. If it procs a Thunder Blast, do it. If it doesn't, then Raging Blow until you can Rampage again and just go through the rotation. Bloodthirst on cooldown, basically. Should be pretty good. Anything else? Oh yeah, add-ons. You guys are asking about add-ons a lot. I'm not using that many add-ons right now, but I am using Chattinator. I am also using Platinator. I'm using Blizz Move, so I can just move these little panels around. And we are using Plumber, which changes the way that my loot works and looks. Using World Quest List. I don't think World Quest Assistant even does anything, but I am using World Quest List, and we use Zygor to level, which is fun. But I'm not using much. We'll put on S Arena when we do Arena and stuff. Maybe Battleground enemies if that ends up working. But the main thing people are interested in is Platinator, and so we'll drop that in the Discord for you. It's in the Games tab of Discord, but we can update it for you if you want. But that's pretty much the basic rundown of my Mountain Thane Fury Warrior leveling build. It shredded through the content just fine. I think this would continue to be fine in PvP. But we're going to mess around with arms. We're going to mess around with prot. I mean, so far, Midnight's been really fun. The questing has been cool. The dungeons have been fun. I'm having a good time. But I did want to give a quick update for you guys on what I'm doing with my Fury build. And we'll go from there. So it's in the add-ons tab now? Okay, perfect. That'll work as well. So Discord in the add-ons tab will be the Platinator import. It's just kind of a long file. So it works well to put on Discord because it shortens it. But anyway, we're going to keep leveling, but since I hit level 90, I wanted to show you what we're cooking with. If you guys want to tune in, we're live on Twitch, probably like a lot of the day, live on YouTube a lot of the day. Right now, Twitch has drops, so you guys can come hang out. to get like a little Murloc plushie, and if you decide to give 2 subs to the stream, you can get that cool little like seal looking pet thing, which is awesome. A lot of people have been taking us up on that, which is tremendous. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for the support on the video. Make sure you show it some love if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on stream. Peace.